Propel Fitness Water. With Gatorade electrolytes, zero sugar, and vitamins, Propel hydrates better than water to help you get the most out of your workout and get back to your best self. What propels you? Propel with Gatorade electrolytes.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach, a trip to the state fair, and a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Thumbtack presents Tile Trouble. Every single time I use my sink, I make eye contact with the uneven grout on my kitchen backsplash. The crooked corners eye me, and I'm haunted by more tiling questions than I thought possible. What kind of pro can fix a backsplash? Can I replace one cracked tile, or should I replace them all? What if I just use Thumbtack? I can hire top-rated pros, read reviews, and compare prices with a tap, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. We're so excited you decided to join us. Make sure you go over and leave those 5-star reviews. If you like this, go over and listen to our other podcasts like the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast or High School Hoops or Funnel Down Defense or Coaching Youth Hoops or whatever one of the 7 in our network that you would like to listen to. But before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. They are always, what I love about Dr. Dish is they're always innovating. They're always making that a little bit better. And that's why I think they're the best machine out there. Like I've said before, we own 3 of them, and I would not be talking about them every day if I did not believe in them. Mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off, and they'll give you A1 customer service. And then also what helps keep the lights on, what helps keep everything moving is teachhoops.com. It's for coaches who want to get better. It is a one-stop shop by a basketball coach for a basketball coach. I'm always working with my team 365 days a year, working on making us better. And I want to do the same thing for you. I'm giving you resources, one-on-one calls, office hours, a roadmap per se that will help you become a better coach. And we offer a 14-day free trial because I believe you should come in and kick the tires around and see if it's right for you. If it's not, that's fine. But I guarantee that you're going to love it. All right, let's head off to the podcast. All right, welcome. Coach, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. Yourself?
You're on summer break when this is going live.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
I'm getting ready.
It wasn't live when we did it, but I am looking forward to. I'm right in the middle. Right about now, I'm releasing my Better Coach OS. My plan is to do it this week, and I'm really excited about this. I've spent a lot of time, months upon months on it.
That's a great thing you just did there for yourself, Coach. The coach is motivating himself. It's several things I've done as far as business. I've always thrown the dates out, and then I've had to get it done.
Right.
And it's like I did it with Teach Hoops. I did it with my Coaching Youth Hoops. I've done it with a bunch of stuff. It's like it's launching on this date, and then you procrastinate, and it's like, holy crap, I gotta get this done. And then
I always work better under pressure, and so I've got this date. It's a deadline, and right before we started doing this podcast recording today, I buckled down for 2 hours and got a lot done. So I like putting those on me. I think it's a good little.
I think it is a good.
app.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good. It's a good golden nugget for coaches that are listening to this. It really is.
Yep, it is
because it makes you do it. Like
it. Yeah, it does.
And I'm a list guy. I have enough Post-its and lists that last. So like it's fine, and I'll get through my list. And I'm a check mark person, but oh my gosh. All right, so we're gonna. This is a great one. I'm glad we're doing this one. We're talking about body language today, Coach. And what do you have about that?
Well, I've posted a lot on X with body language. Language screams. I think it's a great phrase. We talked about phrasing a couple of podcasts ago, but this is one I use with kids. And showing examples. I did it this last season. We were kind of mid-season, and we had a couple guys. And I don't watch our bench during the game, right? But I have my assistants on it, and then I'll go back and watch film. You know, when you watch film, you see things, and I didn't like where our body language is going with a couple guys on the team. And so you got to address it, and you can show them video. And, you know, when someone's sitting back in their chair slumped in the middle of the game, how does that impact other people on the team?
It's,
you know,
and it's hard. I'm going to be honest, and it's hard for at least the head coach. So I've had assistants when I've had teams that have struggled with this. I've had assistants watch for me because it's hard.
It is.
Basketball is such a fast moving game that I don't necessarily know what's going on behind me.
I don't hear fans in a game. Some people have rabbit ears.
Yeah.
In a game, I mean, I hear noise. Occasionally I'll hear something specific pop up, but I am so in tune with the game. I don't hear other things. And I'm certainly not looking for body language on the bench behind me. It's hard.
It is hard. I'll see it on the courts because I'm watching the courts.
Absolutely.
So that's an easy one to fix. It's the other stuff that you don't see. So you have a rule in here. Talk about the rule.
Well, this was a study done in 1967. I think Psychology Today published it, and they call it it's not a perfect rule, but it kind of lays the foundation for the importance of body language. But they did this study, and I think Albert Moravian, I think, was the guy that did it. And he found out that 7% of communication are the words we speak. 38% is the tone on how we say it. And then 55 is our facial expression. And so that's where you've seen sometimes where it says 93% of how we communicate is body language. It's not the actual words. Right. They did a follow-up with that because that's a little maybe excessive. And really what they said, and I'm going to read this because I liked how it was phrased, but when there are inconsistencies between the attitudes communicated verbally and with your posture, then when they're not the same, we look at the body language. When there's consistency with what we're saying and how we're saying it, then you hear the words. So
that makes more sense to me too.
Yeah. That does to me too. But if our words don't match our body language, you see body language. And if they match, now the words matter.
Right.
And so this is important, I think, not just for us as coaches, but for players and leaders and team leaders to understand the how matters. And you have to be genuine, and your words have to match your facial expression and your body language and tone and everything. And when they're not, you're going to have issues. And so you may be on the bench, a player may be on the bench slouching, and they may be totally into the game, but that body language of slouching says something different. They're not aligned, and that's where you have issues.
And so how do you deal with body language? How do you deal with, because I think personally, from someone that's done this a long time, they don't always know they're doing it.
No, I don't. Really don't. I think we all, I have that. I think us as coaches, it's the same. I'm not, my wife tells me all the time, right?
Yeah. Right.
You know,
officials have definitely told me that.
Yeah. Officials. There you go. I mean, you know, and it can go the other way too. I have more people come to me and they'll say, you know, do you ever get upset in a game? Or, you know, I mean, I'm inside, I am dialed in, I'm tuned, I'm competitive, I'm focused. But I think how I show it sometimes is I don't have a lot of reaction to things. I might inside, but I don't on the outside, which is probably a good thing as a coach. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But as a communicator, you know, it's important to have that match up.
Right.
But yeah, I think you have to address it head on. I mean, there's no other way around it.
And the problem is, I have found it's easier to address it when it's happening.
Totally.
And it's hard. That goes back to what you and I were saying. Yep. It's like, that's where sometimes you need other eyes to help you, because I will see it sometimes and then I can address it, but sometimes I won't see it. And then you address it a day later, unless you have visuals, it's like, well, there's no coach is picking on me, or coach is like whatever. It's like,
And
so I think there's some,
And what do we see as coaches? You see the kid with the head goes down in the middle of the game and they start pouting, or they miss a shot, or they're jogging back on defense. I mean, it just, you have to have a next play mindset. I mean, basketball is such a free flowing game, and
yes.
It's such a battle of the mind. I mean, it really is. And it's about confidence, and it's about moving on to the next play, and not letting your thoughts control who you are. Like, and that's why I love, quote unquote, The Secret, which is, just because you have a negative thought does not mean you have to believe it.
Right.
Like, we've got to have these conversations with kids all the time. You are what you think, but you can filter out.
Well, I had a discussion with one of my backup guards this year, and he was having some issues. And I said, here's your homework. You got to go home and come up with your negative response. What when something goes bad, what is going to be your trigger? And I told him, I said, you can't steal mine. Mine was 2 claps. And then as soon as I did the second clap, I was done with it. It was over. So I said, you have to come up with it. And he came up. It took him a while. He struggled a little bit with it. But I said, you almost got a trigger. Okay, that's over. Done. I can't do anything about it. Move on. Because otherwise it just lingers. And like you said, there's so many things that happen in a basketball game. You can't let the missed layup bother you. You just,
it's, I know. Kevin Garnett, I know, had the wristband, or the rubber band on his wrist. And anytime he made a mistake in a game, he would just pull it.
Right.
Kind of snap. And then he moved on, but it was almost his way of, disciplining himself, reminding himself, triggering himself, whatever it may be, to move on.
Right.
And so sometimes you need those triggers that allow you to move on to that next play. And
I've had benches like we talked about last week with energy on benches. I've had benches that have been able to help kids that have not had good body language. So they usually, it's weird. It's kind of like a classroom. They sit in the same spots. They really do usually to start.
They do. But how important is one high energy guy on your bench?
Right.
Like, they feed off the other people. I mean, we had guys on our bench that wouldn't say a word, but because they were by someone that was the opposite, they pulled them along, and that's leadership. I mean, it really is.
Hey, everybody, if you like the podcast, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, jump up and down, run around your house, whatever you need to do. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.